The title is no joke. I can't really make up a title name for this review on part 2 of Crisis on Infinite Earths because it's such a confusing mess to even describe the movie in one title that isn't just boring, you know? So, part 1 of Crisis is pretty much just setup and justification to bring the heroes together to stop an antimatter wave from destroying their worlds. That along with the side plot of Barry helping to build the Danny Phantom Tower-esque sort of thing in his Speed Force domain expansion, where he spent most of his and Iris's life in it to get the Earth ready for the antimatter wave that they thought was just going to be one wave, but oh no, so far they've been hit with multiple, and yeah, they weren't ready for all that, right? They were just ready for one wave, but now it's like multiple, and like they come in different intensities in different times. It's a very crazy situation that's fucking boring. It's honestly really crazy how simple it is to summarize the first part of Crisis, and it makes me just look at this like what the fuck is going on, right? What also is crazy is the small little plot points with Barry that doesn't matter here in this movie specifically. You know why? Because now his part is done. His part to play in this is over, and he isn't relevant anymore. They even had this throwaway line where they were like, I guess, looking for the Flash. And I think it was Batman who said, well, he's probably dead, right? And now his part is over. Now it's Kara's and Psycho Pirate's turn to do something with the plot. And with that being said, the first 20 to 30 minutes is an explanation of how Kara survived Krypton's explosion and that the Monitor was watching the explosion happen and didn't save anybody besides her because she was in the way. At the same time, we were switching between her story and Psycho Pirate's story, his sort of origin, I guess. We see how he's a young boy getting beat up, and then with that sort of like emotional baggage and, you know, whatever, right? He finds out that he can use emotions to control people, primarily anger, greed, resentment, hatred, and so on, right? The negative emotions, right? Some bitch became a Nazi to have his own ship and just outright kill people and fuck with them and just be a sort of pirate that he always wanted to be. It's just, his whole origin is like, makes you think like, why is he here? And that's my thought the entire time. Like, if he's like this, right? Why was he summoned to come join everybody on the Monitor's ship if he's like primarily he's a villain, like no question, but like why was he summoned? Like what the fuck? There is no question the dude is sick as hell. Yet Monitor thought it was a good idea to bring him onto the team, and for what exactly? To keep everybody calm. Yes, the Nazi, a sociopath, a guy who for some fucking reason Dr. Fate gave the ability to cross into other worlds, other universes, right? And he keeps failing to take it over every time. The Monitor made it his job to keep everybody chill. What the fuck? Not only did this idiot trust him on his ship, he trusted him with a decent amount of his power. Because earlier in the movie, he entrusted Kara with a bit of his power. He became that sort of she became sort of that flying, flaming-haired being that showed up at the very end of, what the fuck was it called? I think it was Warworld. I damn near erased that shit from my brain and saved like Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman from the destruction of Warworld and just told them, yeah, we need your help with this certain shit. And that was the beginning of part 1 of Crisis. So why would the Monitor trust Psycho Pirate with a decent amount of his power? Because Kara changed him and showed him the value of trust and all this shit. Motherfucker, you've been alive for how long? You couldn't put 2 and 2 together that this motherfucker ain't built like everyone else? Dude's a psychopath, alright? Let me chill. Cause the more I remember about this shit, the more I'll get mad. The fact that DC animated films have fallen this badly within like a few years, and now Marvel is shitting on them in the animation department. And you know what I mean. Now with X-Men 97 is now the face of Marvel's animation, and also the what if stuff too. Like, what does DC got? Like this shitty continuity of their animated universe and reruns of older, better animated content. Is that really what you guys got? Like, they got Batman out here talking like a deadbeat dad, not claiming his kids, the Bat family, which is wild as shit to me. Granted, he doesn't know them like that, and each one are from a different universe, but goddamn, he can't even like like they can't even have this appeal to his humanity just a little bit. Like they can't have actual conversations and him ask about himself from other universes, and like ask like if he's Batman there, or like, you know, if his parents are alive or whatever in every single one. Are they saving this shit for like part 3? Because if that's the case, then they're fucking it up. Because if each part had him gradually sort of get interested in them and sort of like wonder like how his life could be, that could be fucking interesting as hell, like throughout the movie. Like, so that sort of subplot of Batman getting to know these different individuals who are from different universes, right, who are all impacted by him. That could be fucking baller as hell to watch as a sort of side plot, a sort of like little side piece to the story that is also the main story that is fucking lacking, right? Now, the rest of the movie, after showing Psycho Pirate and Kara's origins, the heroes are trying to protect the towers from anything and using them against the antimatter waves that keep coming for some reason that we find out later, right? After a particular wave, shadow demons appear, because of course, that's what happens, because an antimatter wave creates shadow demons or some shit, right? I would assume to destroy the towers because, duh. And also give our heroes, you know, something to fight, because the last time it was just action in flashbacks and that was it. Honestly, that shit was just boring, right? And now they need something for people to enjoy, like in fighting term wise. And yeah, they sort of just they sort of just have shadow demons, and they realize, oh, this is not enough. They needed to add like Psycho Pirate's whole fuckery as well. So we'll get to that. So shadow demons are weak to light, apparently, right? Because of course, Psycho Pirate, who now unknowingly has some of Monitor's powers, gets contacted by, I guess, Anti-Monitor, because Psycho Pirate names him as the Anti-Monitor after hearing how he is the opposite of the Monitor. So he goes and gives Psycho Pirate a choice that with his help, and he will go ahead and destroy everything, but I guess we'll give him a whole universe to shape all for himself, I guess, which is like something he's been trying to do since forever. And for some reason, he's on this team, he's given this power, even though he has this trend of being a fucking bastard. So it's just really confusing and really fucking stupid the more you think about why is he here. And honestly, that's really it. Like, he betrays everyone, causing them to fight each other and actually cut deep. Like, when it comes to like the Bat family shit, like they're all like talking mad shit to each other, and they're like beating the fuck out of each other, and it's it's fucking crazy. Like, Batman is saying like, I'm glad I dropped you off at the orphanage, Dick. I'm like, oh my god, that's fucked up. That sort of dialogue was very interesting, but at the same time, there's no counter dialogue to where they're like, I want to know more about this. I want to know more about your life. Let me know more about myself in the other universe. There's no counter dialogue to sort of like add more in-depthness to these characters and sort of their dialogue as well. So it's kind of lackluster because of that, right? And besides that, we have Psycho Pirate, who manipulates Kara into frying the Monitor alive and letting the shadow demons come together and, you know, try to destroy Earth One's tower, and, you know, to have, again, a whole world for himself to shape. And yeah, that's really it. I wonder who could have seen this coming. Monitor, you asshole. But I don't know, it's so stupid, because you can just tell that the plot was just purposely shaped just to have this outcome, because of course it did, because the writers don't know what the fuck they're doing. And also, I guess the Monitor like thinks of the Spectre and the Presence as sort of like imaginary beings that he can't like quite comprehend, but he was gradually going ahead and having a conversation with Spectre, I suppose. And I guess like he will have to pay a hefty price for his mistakes, and I guess trusting Psycho Pirate, because it's stupid ass shit, right? He trusted Psycho Pirate, which, you know, I know like if he didn't meet Kara or anything, he would never have trusted Psycho Pirate. And I'm just sitting here and looking at the situation like, why would you trust a villain? Why, like, it, like, for anybody, right? It's just so fucking stupid. Even if you're changed by trust and so on, if you can see a trend, you're how many years old? You're like quintillions of years old, right? Yet you just said, all right, cool, I'm just gonna say fuck all these trends and all this evidence that you're a fucking bastard, you're a fucking asshole, and I'm just gonna trust you with a portion of my power. Oh yeah, don't go ahead and, like, you know, manipulate people, please, thank you. Even though he's low key and manipulating everybody due to the monitor wanting him to keep everybody calm. So it's just stupid. They made the monitor just so fucking dumb in this movie, and it just it pisses me off because the plot is just nothing's really happening. It's just things are just getting worse, like in terms of like everything going on. Like nothing is really going forward. Just the whole situation is just getting worse because everyone's fighting each other, everyone's fighting shadow demons, and that's really it. That's what they introduced. The anti-monitor, who I think is the shadow demon thing, the big old shadow demon that shows up at the end, or he's just controlling it. It's very vague in that sort of way, and I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. So yeah, that's where the movie ends, in a cliffhanger with a big ass shadow demon ready to fight our heroes, Kara holding Monitor's body after frying his shit, and Psycho Pirate being a fucking psycho. This movie had some potentially interesting stuff, like Monitor interacting with people and even Psycho Pirate's involvement with Earth 2 shit too. I thought that was interesting. And I also thought maybe if they did something with the Bat family, sort of like getting to know each other and so on, without Batman being a fucking asshole 100% of the time, I thought that could have been decent, right? But no. Too bad that's it. Even like we had a world like here, right, where the Amazons took over the Earth, and you know, Hippolyta was in charge of everything, right? But I need to know what the fuck they were doing with the men, because in the comics, I know a good bit of the comics. And I know what Amazons do with men, especially when, you know, they keep them captive. However, I want to know, like, what are they doing specifically? And Hippolyta would rather die than let the men out to help fight. So it's just, it's a bad time. It's a bad time. Too bad the world got deleted, and, you know, the world wasn't too far off. Like, this whole, like, world wasn't too far off from the Futurama episode with the Amazons, but again, I'll let that joke rest. If you know, you know. But yeah, honestly, this movie is one of those movies where in it has to justify, like, the shit inside of it and the dumb decisions taking place to make it make sense. But that sense still doesn't make sense, because for someone who has lived for a fucking long time, why would you trust somebody of Psycho Pirate's background knowing what he's done, right? It's so fucking dumb. Some bitch even pointed out himself that he's done some shit, oh my god, and you probably won't give me any power, and somehow this basic level of reverse psychology shit worked, and it blew my fucking mind. This movie gets a 3. It gets a 3. Nothing happened. You can explain this movie in a sentence or two, and it doesn't justify its whole existence. This whole movie could have been 30 minutes. It could have been 20 minutes. I would have preferred the end game storyline for this continuity to be DC Metal, because at least there they won't have any use for so many heroes, and it won't be convoluted as shit with like just like the Crisis storyline. It's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. I would have preferred the DC Metal storyline to sort of end this continuity, because at least with DC Metal, it had some really cool shit that they could have done, but Crisis is such a convoluted mess. They fucked it all up. They know they can't put everything from Crisis in here, and they still did it, and it's just a mess. It's so fucking dumb. And there you have it, folks. That is what I think of DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2 movie. Let me know what you think, and, you know, whatever you guys have any thoughts about this, put in the comments below, because for me, this is just a boring ass soap opera that literally has nothing going on and cuts off midway, right? This has been Cinnamon. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you guys have been okay. Let me know how you feel in the comments below, and just honestly, just have a great day. Stay healthy mentally, emotionally, physically. Later.